Hello everyone, welcome to channel Qtomation. In previous couple of sessions we have started with various mouse actions which we can perform via ActionChains class. We have already seen how to hover, how to right click, that also we have seen. Today we will see how to double click by using script. So whenever we on the web page, sometimes we have certain scenarios in which we want to double click on certain elements. And always remember, double click is not equal to clicking single click double times. Again, if you think that we can use dot click 2 times and it will perform the double click, that is not true. Double click is different than using single click 2 times. So we will see example as well. So let's see one of the example. Now this is the website which I am opening. On this website, if you see, there is this double click option. There is one field called as a field 1 which is having some text hello world. There is a field 2 which is initially blank. Field 1 is having some text input field. Field 2 is also input field but it is blank currently. And there is one button copy text. When I click on this copy text, nothing happens. I am doing the single click. When I am simply doing single click on this copy text button, nothing happens. But when I double click on this, if you see, when I double click on this button, the text from the field 1 gets automatically copy pasted into field 2. I will just again show you. So I am just removing the text from the first field. I am putting some text here, let's say Qtomation. I am double clicking on this button. As soon as I double click on this button, it copies the text from the field 1 to field 2. And that happens only when I am double clicking on this button. If I single click on this button, let's say I am again changing the text. And if I single click on this, nothing happens. But when I double click on this, it copies the text from field 1 to field 2. So this copy text button functionality is associated with only and only double click. On single click, nothing happens. If you see again, on single click, nothing happens. When I double click this, it copies the text in field 2. So now this we have done manually. Now I will show you how we can do it by using Selenium script. By using script, what I will do, I will pass some text here, let's say Qtomation. This text I will pass in field 1. Then I will click, not click, but the double click on this copy text button and it should copy the text in field 2. But before that I will also show you, if I single click via script 2 times, whether it will considered as a double click or not. Ideally it should not consider it as a double click. So some people think that using single click option 2 times via script will perform the double click action, but that will not happen. So now let's go to PyCharm. In PyCharm, let's create a new Python file. I am naming it as double click demo. So we have created the Python file now. After creating this Python file, I will just copy some code from our previous sessions, which basically importing the WebDriver, ActionChains class, options class, service class, and time module. We have created Chrome options class object as chr_options, and in which we have passed add experimental option detach value as true. If you keep this value as true, it will keep the browser open after the execution of the script. If you keep it false, driver instance or the browser will automatically closed. After that, I have created service class object in which we are passing executable path file of the Chrome driver. Then we have created the driver instance in which we are passing both the objects as a parameter. Then we have used implicit wait for 5 seconds so that in case page load takes time or any element is taking time, it will wait for 5 seconds. Then we have to open that web page. So now which web page we want to open? So this is the URL I want to open first. So I'm just copying it and I'm pasting it in driver.get. So it will launch the browser and it will open that web page. After opening that web page, what I want to do is I will first find this field 1. In this field, I will pass some text as a Qtomation. But if you see, I am just refreshing this page one more time. So as soon as the page loads, field 1 is already occupied with some text. So first step would be, I will be clearing this text. I will just go to this field 1, I will clear this text. I will pass some text. Then I will double click on this copy text button. So that field 2 will be occupied with Qtomation text again. So that will confirm that will conclude that this button is double clicked. So I am just going back to PyCharm. So first we have to find this field 1. So I will just inspect it. Let's try to inspect or find out some locator for this field 1. If you see, there is a ID equals to field 1. If you see, this ID equals to field 1. So I can simply use this ID. So as soon as the page is launched, I will use, or I can store it in some web element. Let's say field 1 equals to driver dot find element by dot ID comma, and I am just passing that ID here. Field 1 is the ID, so we have located that element. After locating that element, first when you see, I am just refreshing this page one more time. So there is some text present already here. So I want to clear this text. So what I will do, there is one method. I will simply use field 1 dot clear method. So this method will clear the text which is already present in that field 1. So it will clear that text. After clearing that text, I will simply use send keys method and I will pass the text which I want to fill in that field 1. I will, let's say, passing Qtomation. So it will pass this text in that field 1. So now that text will be passed here. Now what I will show you first is, let's say I am just single clicking on this button. So let's try to locate first this button. I am just copying the XPath. Let's say I am just copying the XPath for this button. So let's create one button, copy underscore button. This is the web element in which I am just using driver dot find element by dot XPath, and I will just paste the XPath which you have copied from there. So it will find out that button, and I will just use single click. I am just using single click now. And now let's execute this and let's check it out whether by using single click what happens. So let's execute this file. So it is launching the web browser. It is opening the web page. If you see, it has passed that, cleared the text which was present earlier, then it passed the single text, Qtomation text, which is passed in field 1, and then it clicked on copy text button. But nothing happened. Text is not copied to field 2 because on single click nothing will happen. It is not associated with single click. This text will be pasted in the field 2 only when we are double clicking on this button. So now in this scenario nothing happened. I am just closing it. I think some error has occurred, so I will just rerun this script because it is not clicked on that button because of some incorrect XPath syntax. So I have just corrected it, and let's try executing one more time. So again it is launching the web browser. It will clear the previous text, it will pass the text, and it will click on that copy text button. But even after clicking, nothing happened because it is not associated with single click. So I'm just closing this. See, nothing happened. Now what I will do, I will use single click 2 times. Now let's say I will use single click 2 times. Let's say what happens now. Again we have done some small mistake here. We have basically, let me just clear it. So again this line also I will clear. So we are storing the element in the copy button, and we have to click copy button, right? So I will just use copy button dot click. So it will perform the click action single time. So let's execute this script. So it is launching the web browser. It will pass the text and it will click on the button, but nothing happened because it is not associated with single click. So now what I will do, I will use single click 2 times just to demonstrate that clicking single click 2 times does not mean it is equal to double click. So now I am just clicking the same button 2 times here. So let's check whether it actually copy that text to field 2 or not. Before that we can also maximize the window. Driver dot maximize window, and now let's execute the script. It is launching the web browser. It will maximize the window. It will pass the text, and it is clicking that copy text 2 times, but by using single click only. It is clicking first and then it is clicking again, but that is again not copying and pasting the text in our field 2. That means clicking the same button 2 times without using double click method is not considered as a double click. So I will just close this browser, and now I will show you how we can actually double click on it. So I am just commenting this part, and we have to use actions class, ActionChains class now. So I will just create object for ActionChains class. So I am creating the object of ActionChains class, in which we have to pass driver instance. So we have created the object here, and then we can simply use act dot, there is a method called as a double click. So act, that is the object of ActionChains class, dot double click method will actually perform double click, but on which element we want to perform double click, that we have to pass here. So we have already know copy button. So this is the button on which I want to double click. So I am just pasting it here. So it should perform the double click action, and it will copy and paste that text in field 2. So now let's execute this. So when it will launch the web browser, it will maximize the window. It will find out the field 1. It will clear the text. It will pass the text, and then it will click on that button by using double click. Again the same mistake which we have made. If you see in the code, and this is most of the times, normally when you are new into the automation, you will simply do this mistake often via using action chains. So we normally created the action here. We created the action here, but we haven't used dot perform. So I am just using dot perform. And now let's execute this file one more time. So it is launching the browser now. It will maximize the window. It will clear the previous text from field 1. It will pass the text and it has double clicked on that copy text button. If you see, the text which we have passed here got copied in the field 2. That means we have successfully double clicked on this copy text button. Now what I will do, I will again rerun this file, and let's say I will just change some text here. I am just closing it. Instead of Qtomation, let's time I am passing test world, and let's execute this file one more time. So it is launching the web browser. After that, it will open the web page. It will go to the field 1. It will pass the test world, and it is immediately double clicked on the copy text button. That's why this text is copy pasted in field 2. So this is how we can use ActionChains class, and which method we have to use? Double click method. In this we have to pass the element on which we want to double click, and then .perform method. So this statement is normally used to perform double click action via Selenium automation script. So far we have seen how to hover, how to right click, how to double click. In coming session, we will see about how to drag and drop certain elements. Sometimes on the web pages we have to drag and drop some things. So how to do drag and drop, that we will see in coming session. So kindly subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you everyone for watching this video.